Welcome to the Dowdem Podcast. I'm your host, Colgan Bickey, and today we're going to talk about how social media is slowly disconnecting you from your own life, and why, if you genuinely want to start to regain that control and truly start to see some real progress in it, then it is absolutely crucial for you to stop constantly consuming everyone else's life while barely being present in your own, and instead just really start to learn not only how to stop comparing your reality through what you see in a screen, but how to then properly start building a life that you truly want to live from here on out. But before we get started, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. That way you don't miss any weekly episodes and posts. You can find video of this episode strictly on YouTube, but the audio everywhere else. Now, when it comes to just truly regaining that control and seeing some real progress within your life, understanding that you have to stop constantly consuming everyone else's life while barely being present in your own genuinely is so important. Because where we are at with social media right now, you are scrolling with countless hours, you're watching pointless things, and it is doing nothing but taking away your time, your energy, and on top of that, it is making you feel behind. When you sit there and you scroll on social media for 10 minutes, you see somebody your age that is already married, that has a so called mansion, that has $1 million, that has everything figured out. You are going to feel left behind. You are going to ask yourself, why am I not there? You're going to lose that motivation. You're going to belittle yourself because you're comparing your life to somebody else's highlight reel. And by doing that, it isn't going to do anything but destroy your mentality. The comparison within yourself, your confidence, your overall motivation, because that's exactly what it was doing with me until I not only started to learn how to stop comparing my reality through what I saw through a screen, but how to then properly start to build a life that I genuinely wanted to live from here on out. Because you see, when it comes to just social media as a whole, and this is something that a lot of us debate about, but when it comes to just social media, this is something that has not only drastically changed lives, but it's something that has drastically ruined them. Because when you do scroll, 9 out of 10 times, you are going to compare yourself. You're going to feel behind a little bit. And that's something that I was experiencing firsthand. In 2022, when I moved away from the city, I changed my life around completely. I started to do content creation myself. I built a podcast. I still felt behind. I still didn't see the progress I was making simply because I was comparing myself to the people I saw. I was comparing my day one to somebody else's day 100. And it was starting to make me question myself. It was starting to make me question if I could even keep going, if I could make these things real, if I could become just like them. And once I finally started to realize that social media itself isn't necessarily the problem, but how you use it, everything changed. Your attention, your comparison, who you follow, what you're looking at. Those things are so important because in 2022, when I was living in the city, I would sit there and I would follow crash out accounts. I wouldn't listen to anything motivational. I wouldn't try and change my life. I wouldn't listen to anything or watch anything that was going to help me grow. But once I started to realize that if I change my attention towards this, I start to really elevate myself and put things in front of me that are going to help me grow as a person, everything changed, right? So social media itself isn't necessarily the problem, but how you use it. And until you start to realize that, until you start to really regain control over your attention and how you use these things, nothing is going to move along within your life. Because when you do go and just constantly scroll on social media, and you can do it right now, you will see social media, the people who post on there, they show the life they want to live, not the life they are currently living, right? They'll show the penthouse, they'll show all the money, they'll show the girls, the club, they'll show the cars, but they don't show the debt, the stress, the people that leech off of them, how long it took to get there, the tears, how many times they wanted to give up, right? So social media genuinely is like a big facade because you're constantly looking at highlight reels. You're looking at somebody getting married, reaching a milestone, but you don't know if that's what they're really living today. When you go and compare yourself, you constantly consume and compare instead of create. You hold yourself back. You destroy your attention span, your drive, your confidence because you're wasting time on watching somebody else build their life instead of you building it yourself. Right? Your life doesn't change through the people who you watch. Your life changes through what you do, what actions you take. You could watch me and I could give you some advice, but I can't change your life. I can't reach through the screen and have your life do a 360, but you can. You can take action towards it. So once you start realizing how to use social media properly, stop letting your attention and your time go out the window and start really using these things like you should be, your life will truly start to change. So, if you genuinely want to start to regain that control and truly start to see some real progress within your life, then understanding that you have to stop constantly consuming everyone else's life while barely being present in your own truly is so important. Because I get it. We all use social media, we all love it, we like to scroll. But at the end of the day, if your attention and your timing is not being placed on the proper things, you are going to remain stuck. You are going to stay in the same cycles. You're going to destroy your confidence in where you need to be because that's exactly what was happening with me until I not only started to learn how to stop comparing my reality through what I saw through a screen, but how to then properly start building a life that I actually wanted to live from here on out. So, moving forward, instead of just waking up every single day, playing the guessing game, reinforcing the same cycles you are in, start taking real action. Start being intentional with your attention. If your For You page is filled with nothing but brain rot, nothing but dancing, nothing but something that is not going to help you grow, you need to change it. You need to unfollow. You need to start realizing that it is distracting you and it is taking you away from the things that matter the most. You might go and say, oh, well, I only watch a couple of videos. Be realistic. That one video turns into a whole hour that you could have used to go to the gym, to work on your goal, and to improve your life. Stop comparing yourself. Please, there are so many of us that compare ourselves to the people we see on social media. It is not real. Stop comparing yourself to these things because your journey is yours for a reason. Yes, a 23-year-old might be a millionaire. Yes, you might be 23 right now working a 9 to 5, but it doesn't mean you can't get there. But by comparing yourself, you truly won't. Start realizing it is your life, your journey, your timeline, and focus on the now. Because when I sit here and tell you guys that you can change your life around, you can regain that control and truly start to see some real progress in it, I genuinely do mean it. You just first have to stop constantly consuming everyone else's life without being present in your own. And instead, just really start to learn not only how to compare your reality through what you see in a screen, but how to then properly start to build a life that you genuinely want to start to live from here on out. But with that said, today's quote is by Anthony St. Martin. He once said, the highlights you see on social media is not real life. Everyone you know faces their own challenges and struggles. Nobody's life is perfect, so it's pointless to compare or judge. Instead, be kind to yourself and others as often as you can. I appreciate you tuning in. You can follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And this is the Dowden Podcast.